Hey, this is Dave Neven. You are on Groove Cruise right now with Neon Owl.
Hey everybody, I'm Ken here with Neon Owl on the ship with Groove Cruise in the middle of the Atlantic. And sitting here with me is Dave Neven.
How you doing?
How are you doing, Dave?
I'm great, surprisingly.
Yes.
For now. After day one is usually, everyone goes pretty hard day one and parties and has fun. And I paced myself a little bit, and today I feel pretty good. So I might actually hit the gym later, to be honest.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many Groove Cruises is this for you?
This is number, I think it was 5. Kind of lost track actually after that little 3. For me, it was a 3-year break. I didn't do the last one pre-COVID, but before that, and I've done a couple of the LA ones as well. So I think this was 5. I've been a guest on them several times as well, not just an artist. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So were you guest before you were an artist ever, or was the artist first and then you came?
I
as a guest?
think I actually came as a guest the first time when I was still with the Cold Harbor family. They had an extra spot and they asked me if I wanted to come out from LA to check it out, and I did. And then the following years when I was performing.
When you came on as a guest, did you assume or ever think that you'd be playing this place?
I don't know if assumed, but I definitely hoped.
Yeah.
And at that first experience that I had on the ship was amazing. I always tell people this is one of my favorite parties I've ever been to. The vibe here, the atmosphere, the people, is really what makes it as special as it is.
Okay.
So
Let's talk about your sound for a little bit. So you actually have a sound that's actually just been coined, dark lifting, which is a brand of yours now. It's you,
Yep.
Dave Neven, dark lifting. Talk about that for a little. How did you develop this sound?
So that name actually started from a fan that turned into friend from Canada. He just liked my style a lot, and it's got that uplifting vibe, but it's still dark with that rolling bass line and kind of a lot of techno elements involved as well. And then over the years it just kind of progressed. I don't really like too happy and fluffy music, but still like melodic, and I feel like that sound and that name is perfect for the style that I do.
I could agree with
Yeah.
that is a perfect way to describe your music. So I actually have a favorite of your tracks, the one called "Above the Clouds." So much so, I have a playlist on Spotify that I curate. I put it on there. It has a spot on that playlist for a while.
Nice.
But could you tell me the story behind that track? I just really like
That's
that
funny
song.
though. Actually, "Above the Clouds," I wouldn't call that one dark lifting at all. That one is a little more fluffy actually, but that's for a reason, because that track was originally created for a documentary. It was a New York Times bestseller from Ian Urbina, and it's called The Outlaw Ocean. And they approached me. I did 3 tracks for the documentary. They wanted a cinematic approach, but still showing off my original style and sound. So it was very interesting doing tracks for it, because I took a different approach to creating the dance music, rather than what would work in a club, or creating a traditional 4x4 beat and then building off of that. I started with the cinematic elements and the pads and strings and orchestral style writing, and then created the dance track based off of that. And it definitely has a very unique sound to it because of that, I feel like. And you're not the only one, which is amazing, that has said that song has impacted them in some way.
Yeah,
So-
I love that song. That's an awesome story. So here recently, you tell how recently, but so you shifting away from music for a minute, then we'll go back. But you gotten into fitness.
Oh,
Big fitness buff, yeah.
I've been into fitness for quite a while.
Yeah.
When I first moved to Los Angeles 8 years ago now, I got really big into fitness. I got my NASM certification for personal training. Was going to do it actually as a career path. And then the music kind of took off a little bit, and it's hard to do it, especially independently as a personal trainer. It's like creating your own business. So I unfortunately didn't have the time to do it, but have the knowledge of personal training, which is great. So, and they do everything with supplementation, nutrition, anatomy, fitness, all that. So it was cool to have and to do, and then I just never recertified after it expired. But
That's fascinating to me. You said NASM. I mean, on a personal level, my wife is NASM certified.
yeah, it's
She's
one
a
of the
personal trainer. Yeah.
better in the fitness world. So.
Wow, awesome. So with fitness, I mean, so then I would to geek out in the fitness world here for a second. So you probably go into the macros and
No, I don't really follow. I don't follow diet too much. I found a good balance where I can eat whatever I want to eat and work out hard. And I do my running. I do work out really hard when I am at the gym, so I can eat whatever I want to eat.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I am guilty to be like eating the sour gummy bears at the end of the night. You know, like. I love the sour gummy bears. I'm not gonna lie.
The trolleys, yes.
No,
Yeah,
there's a special one on
there's a
Amazon.
special one on
I buy these special ones on Amazon. The Albanese confectionery. It's like they're the best gummy bears in the world. I'm not gonna lie.
Everyone has their guilty.
If you want to sponsor me, send me some gummies.
Nice plug. I like it. Yes. I mean, you work out hard. How do you find time to split the music world and fitness?
Well, honestly, I wake up early and make it a point to wake up early and then go to the gym first. I eat something small, go to the gym, get that serotonin going, and like honestly, when I do that and I work out before I even come home and start working on music, it helps out so much because I feel like my mind is more clear, I can focus better, and I'm honestly just more pumped, especially if I'm listening to music while I'm at the gym, which I always am. I get inspirations from whatever I'm listening to, and then like I'll pick out little elements what I like from what I'm listening to, and then transfer that into my creative flow.
What are your inspirations in general? Is there certain artists?
I don't know if I would say a specific certain artist, but I am really loving the Afterlife style right now, like the melodic techno, progressive. The guys like, obviously Tale of Us is huge right now, but Anima, which is half of Tale of Us, he's been doing his own thing now, and I love his sound. Colin is a big one who's also on that label. Adriatic, a lot of these guys that are all on that Afterlife label, I just really like that sound. I love doing unique sound design and kind of like minimizing your elements in the track, but the elements that you do have in the track really stand out, and that's what that sound is all about.
Okay. So talking about with your inspirations here, so Dave Neven is a trance artist. But you also have a side project, right? Okada, yeah. Those artists that you're currently inspired by seem like they're more in that direction as well.
Yeah, so the Okada stuff, it was Dave Neven Presents Okada for a long time, which was kind of still like progressive trance. Still my style, but slower trance. Tempo, I should say. And now it's just, I dropped the Dave Neven Presents, it's just straight Okada. And I just really want to focus on that style and kind of break into releasing on those style labels rather than just trance labels.
Okay.
It's definitely a goal of mine in the near future to start kind of at least getting some support, hopefully, and releases on those type of labels. So like Afterlife is the one that's way up there, but I say like, if I set myself a goal of a couple of years or whatever and really hone in on it, I can achieve it. So
splitting between Dave Neven and Okada, how is that with your workflow? Which one takes up more time? Or
lately it's been the Okada stuff, like the progressive. Your styles change as time goes on, and for right now at least, I really enjoy producing that slower tempo, that groovy, melodic, unique style. I still do trance, so I do have 2 releases scheduled on Armada for the beginning of this year, and I'm very, very, very excited about both of them. One of them specifically, because it's with the same writer and the same singer of the track that just won For All of Time.
Oh, wasn't that track of the year?
Just won the track of the year. It's called For All of Time.
Yeah. So y'all are collabing again, and so with that, how much can you tell us about this song right now? I don't want to get you in trouble out there. Can you talk about the story behind this song? Or
so the writer that did that track, he's a really prolific, established ambient writer. His name is Nicholas Gunn. He's from he lived in Chicago for a little bit, which is where I'm originally from, and then he lives in LA right now. So we kind of connected on that, and we have a lot of mutual friends. We started talking a while back when I was living in LA, and he's an amazing writer, songwriter, and he does piano, and he has all these different vocalists that he works with that come in, and he does the writing for the actual vocals, and then he has a singer come in and do them. And he is the one he did the For All of Time writing for Armin and Ali and Fila, and the track ultimately won Track of the Year last year. And prior to this even happening, he had another version, another track that he wrote, and he asked me if I'd be interested in working with it. And the second I heard the song, I was absolutely blown away. Like, it was one of those acoustic songs that it was so good, I didn't know how to even mess with it to make it a dance track. It was that good and that emotional. And it took me quite a while to actually like figure out the direction that I wanted to go with the song, breaking it apart, using certain pieces, because it was long. I couldn't use the entire thing. So I had to break it apart and use the parts that, you know, really made the most impact or made the most sense as well, how the track flow would go, the structure. And ultimately it came together, and when I sent it to him, he was completely blown away by it. And that was the early version, and then he sent it to one of the guys at Armada, and they were like completely blown away by it apparently. And like then after we finished it, we just like literally locked on a date and everything set like that, and like they wanted to schedule it for this year because it was too soon for them from the last one that they did, which one, the track of the year. So I'm super blown away and excited, and mid-February it's coming out, so it's going to be a really really
okay,
big
so
one, I feel like, for my
that's-
career. So I hopefully we'll see.
So, right now let's move on to Groove Cruise here for a second. Let's go into the theme of Groove Cruise. So a couple fun questions for you, some easy ones here. If you were the captain of the ship right now, and you can get anywhere around the world within 24 hours, where would you take us?
Anywhere around the world. Honestly, that's a hard question to ask because I don't feel like the destination is really important. It's the people you're with.
It's the journey. Yeah.
It's the journey, exactly. And like for me, a lot of times when I'm on the Groove Cruise, I end up not even getting off the boat because I'm having too much fun the night prior, and I'm still sleeping or whatever. And to me, it's not really. Yeah, I don't really care where we go as long as the people there make it special, and that's what Groove Cruise does. To be honest, like
I like that answer. The journey, yes, it's the experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So another Groove Cruise question here. Ship goes down, you get stranded on an island. What are the 3 things that you would take with you that aren't, of course, food and water? That's a given. Somehow you have unlimited food and water. What would you take with
the
you?
obvious one is gotta have music. That's some way. So I don't know if it'd be my laptop or iPad or whatever. So something to play some music because music is such a huge part of my life. Other than that, let's see. Should I make another little stab and say, those sour gummy bears?
Yeah,
Albanese sour gummy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. What about maybe some dumbbells?
Nah, because I was thinking that actually, but you can make some off of some trees or whatever. I'm a very handy person, and I have done my fair share of like making stuff. I used to work on cars. I worked on houses, so making dumbbells or something, no problem.
No problem.
Probably a knife or something then, obviously.
Okay. All right.
You got to use a knife to cut.
Gotcha. Gummy bears, a knife, and your music.
No, I don't know about the gummy bears. Okay, well, we'll take it. Gummy bears.
Okay, if you could only have one person be on that island with you, who would it be?
One person.
One person.
I don't know. I would say maybe my dad.
All right.
Because I talk to him almost every day. Like he's, as cliche as it sounds, kind of my best friend.
Oh, nice.
In a way, he's so supportive of me, and he's always been like that person. The generation that was like, go to school, get your college degree, get a good job, blah blah blah, very cutthroat. Like this is what you got to do. And then like I had a career job. I worked for the Department of Defense for government for a long time, for 7 years, back in Chicago, and it wasn't for me. Work was my life, and I was miserable. And I was pursuing my music at the same time, and he was very supportive of me leaving and moving out to LA and pursuing it, which blew my mind because I thought he was going to be, like, no, you got to do this. But he was actually incredibly supportive. So I can talk to him all the time, and obviously you need somebody, if you're by yourself on an island, you need somebody to talk to.
That is awesome. Great job, Dad. That's that's actually a really good story. What is one thing outside of music that you're grateful for?
I mean, being able to, live in Miami and have a good life, a good job, be able to do my music. I know a lot of people don't have that luxury, and I love living in these big cities like LA, Chicago, Miami. You see a pattern here, but Miami, I'm right in South Beach, and it's amazing. It's a great city, but to be able to live there by myself and have a job and all that.
Is there anything you want to say to your fans?
Just appreciate the support. I will still be giving out my free download that I do every year. It's just been a little late. I have to test it out here on the Groove Cruise first. So they're going to get to hear it first, but it's still coming. So I know a lot of you have been asking me about my free download that I give away every year, because I do a bootleg every year at the end of the year, and I give it out. And it's a little late, obviously, but for good reasons. I'm trying to really perfect it right now. So it's coming soon, though. Hopefully, if all goes well, when I play it this weekend, I will be putting it out when I get back.
Awesome.
And we'll see what it is, because it's I'll just say it. It's a Faithless Insomnia bootleg that I did. So under like my Okada alias. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so much, Dave. I really appreciate it. On behalf of Neon Owl and
absolutely
everyone else.
Thanks for taking the time. Pleasure.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.